Loaded Radio in your face podcast.
All right, hey, it's Scott Penfold, and this is the latest edition of the Loaded Radio in your face podcast. And on the podcast this week, I'm going to be playing back a recent talk I had with Jacoby and Tobin from Papa Roach. And we spoke about the new album, Crooked Teeth, which is available now and is also a bit of a departure of the common sound you might consider from Papa Roach. Here's my recent talk backstage with Jacoby and Tobin from Papa Roach.
First off, let me say that I was a big fan of Fear. I thought Fear was an awesome, strong album for you guys. From what I've heard of this one, I'm hearing also great material, but a bit of a departure in sound almost. Is that what you guys set out to do with the new album?
Yeah, I mean, we mixed it up in a lot of different ways. We worked with some different producers, and we just came from we actually went backwards in that our original sound had more of a grimy hip-hop and punk influence as well, and captured a lot of that on the new record, as well as pushing forward with like just a whole new just dimension of sound that we had never captured before.
Yeah, songs like Periscope, definitely jump outside the box and do something new, whereas our lead single, Help, it kind of reminds me of like Scars on steroids. Nice. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like just kind of more upbeat, but it's a great track, and we just found out it's number 3 on the Canadian Active Rock chart. So that is like, for us, that's a real big deal. We haven't had a song like that going on up here in a long time. So thank you guys for playing. We appreciate y'all playing it at radio, man. It means the world to us.
I gotta admit, I was a little surprised that you guys didn't once again enter the studio with Kevin Churko down there in Vegas. What was the decision to go with the new guys?
From the get-go, well, here's the difference. When we went in to go do Fear, we didn't have anything written before. Right. We just we approached that record totally differently. Kevin was like, just come in the studio and let's do it right on the spot. Yeah. And so we did that. Whereas this time we were like, you know what? We feel like we just need to kind of become more adventurous and go back into the rehearsal space and write a bunch of material and go, just see where it takes us. Yeah. And that doesn't work in the Churko kind of way he does records.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And so it was for us, I think, as well, too, because a lot of bands were going to them. And I think Kevin's an awesome guy. I dig him a lot. Kane's an awesome person. Yeah. They're great people. I just think for us it was like stylistically, we wanted to make that evolution, and I felt that, we had to find a different squad to create that. And, we made that move, and I'm really happy we did, and I don't think there's any love lost between Kevin that I know of. No. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a great guy, and he's going to maintain. That dude's going to be successful years. He's wildly talented. Both him and his son are both very talented.
Incredibly, and some of the bands he's working with as well. So totally. It's cool that you guys get the chance to work with him. That's awesome, man.
We've worked with some of the best. If you line them up, think about it. Yeah. We've worked with Brennan O'Brien.
That's awesome.
Who did Stone Temple Pilots and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Did he do Infest? What?
No, he did Love, Hate, Trash.
Oh, right on. Okay, cool. Right on. Yeah.
And then we worked with Howard Benson, which was another great rock producer. Yeah. And after you work with two massive names like that, and then you go on to Kevin Churko, it's like, where up the hill do you go?
Where do you go?
Well, we went with we discovered two guys.
That's the cool thing too.
Young guys that have never even made a full-length rock record before.
That's wild. That's almost unheard of for a band of your stature to do something like that, right?
But that's just kind of how Papa Roach does things. Like, we like to stick out from the rest. We like to kind of capture that authenticity that we have as a band, and it's very important for us to have fun doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just come from like this place that's just got. This is the funnest record we've ever made.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, the experience for us was a blast.
Man, there's just no denying it in the music, too. You can hear it, and it's wild.
Let's talk about, first off, the song Help, which is just massive right now. Where did that song come from? Just for you guys.
So we went in, and we were finishing up the record, and we always go back and listen to the record and see if there's any pieces to the puzzle that was missing. Yep. And there was nothing in a major key on the record. And so we were like, all right, let's get back in the studio and see if we can write something in a major key, upbeat, because, when you're listening to tempo and pacing and sequencing of a record, there's a lot to it. We think about it a lot. And so we felt like there was something missing. So we went back in with that in mind, upbeat and major key. And so they started writing the music for this. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to sing on this. Like, I'm just not in I'm not in the headspace, man. Like, I just don't want to write happy, joyous, and free lyrics because I just don't feel that way. I just feel like in a, say it brutally, like just in a fucked up place. You know what I mean?
But that was what's cool about the song is that he came lyrically with, something dark with the music that has a little bit more light to it. So the juxtaposition of the song. I don't know, I always dig music like that, when it's like the lyrics are really dark and creepy and whatever, and it's like, but the music's kind of sing-songy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it does that whole thing.
Kind of a contrast, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
contrast is perfect with that song. So.
Yeah. Also, let's talk about Born for Greatness. Now, what can you tell me about that?
Freaky.
Yeah.
That one, that was the first track that we recorded for this album, and the mission statement for us when we went in to write that track was we want to shake things up. We want to just try something totally new, totally different, outside the box, and just see where it takes us. And so we hooked up with a friend of ours, Jason Evigan, who's a producer. He produces now everybody from like Madonna to Maroon 5 to Demi Lovato, like all over the place. Mm-hmm. But he's a rocker. He's a dude that grew up playing in bands in SoCal. We took his band on tour. They were called After Midnight Project. And we just always thought he was awesome, great talent. And we were like, you know what? Like, now that you're producing, let's get in a room. And so we got in a room and just created this totally oddball track that it's like if, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I don't know.
Well, it's like we showed up at his house to just kind of like hang out and write music. So we didn't like go to a studio and bring our guitars and our amps, So it's kind of just like, let's just fucking see what happens, And
he's like, I bought this new keyboard. He started playing. He's like,
Mellotron.
I was like, dude, that sound is sick. Like, we need to do something with that sound. And that was just really how it was. And then we were talking about like, well, what about the drum beat, And we started beatboxing, like this swing kind of shuffly, beautiful people-ish beat, you know. And then, all right, well, instead of me doing something melodic on it, let me rap on it, like go old school with it. And we did that, and then it just built. And then there's this like crazy funky blues guitar drop.
Yeah, it's pretty
afterwards.
sick.
It's different, And so, it's definitely a stretch for our fans, but so far, like, people have heard like 5 songs off the record now. No, 4 songs off the record. Mm-hmm. And there's kids on message boards like popping up going, dude, I think you guys are on your way to making the rock record of the year. And I'm going, hey man, like that's you saying that. That would be great. Like I would love that.
Wouldn't that be right? Yeah.
That would be fantastic. I mean, I'm very proud of the music, but it's the fans. It's kids are stoked. Like, our fans are stoked, and it was an evolution. And that's the thing. Like when I feel like the people that are willing to take the biggest risks are either going to have the greatest success or the greatest failures, and I'm okay with either one.
Nice.
Honestly, like because I'm in Papa Roach, dude. We're in Papa Roach. We've been doing this for many years. We had many failures.
Like 93, I think.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, since 93. So from 93 to the year 2000, there's a whole slew of failures. Yeah. And from 2000 to 2017,
we had a lot of hits and a lot of misses.
Yeah, hits and misses, dog. So what's up?
Yeah.
That monster got me jacked.
That was the biggest thing is we just didn't want to be regular, dude. We just didn't want to go. I mean, we didn't want to just do the regular rock radio song. I mean,
we want to switch it up, get weird.
We had to because it's just in our fucking. It was in our balls, dude.
I love Chili Peppers, dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Chili Peppers were always freaky, funky, and weird. Like, let's do that again.
Yeah.
So, but in our own way.
Of course, yeah. But yeah, they say the album seems more rhythmic, a lot more hip-hop elements, a lot more rap elements than previously. Is that a direction the band is going, or is it like, we're going to try this now, or is it just something that comes natural? Where's that coming from?
It's natural, man. We just kind of suppressed it for some years, and I think that it was time for us to kind of go back and experiment with it. And when we experimented with it, it felt authentic and real and true. Yeah. And so we travel farther down that road, and I think that comes from me and Tobin falling in love with hip-hop music again. Yeah. Cats like Yellow Wolf. Yeah. I love him. Run the Jewels. That record, like, I love those cats. And so for me to be stoked about that type of music again, and then it's infecting P. Roach music again, and it feels real, it's like, why not go down that path again? It's something that is in the core of who we are as a band, and it's something that is, Last Resort. It's one of the biggest songs we've ever written, one of the biggest songs of the early 2000s. Yep. Why not fuck around in that territory again and see what happens? And I believe we landed on some stuff that's great, and there's tons of melody on the record too.
Yeah,
so it's a good balance.
We got a really good taste of that on Fear with the song you did with Maria.
Yeah,
which was so fucking rad, dude.
Yeah,
what a great song, guys.
Thank you, man.
That was really awesome.
I think working with Kevin on that track, he was very. He's like, dude, you got to do this, man, this rap thing, and I was just kind of like, I wasn't sure of it, and so. And you guys were all feeling it, and I was like, I don't know, man. I just don't know if it's like. And everybody around me was like, dude, you're on to something.
It fucking works, man.
And it did. Yeah. So we brought it back. So hey, thank you, Kev. That's big Kevy Kev on the track. You know what I'm saying?
Now I know that when I was first introduced you guys, it would have been Ozfest 2001 or 2, was it?
Oh, exactly.
2001, dude, with Slipknot and you guys, Disturbed. That was a wicked lineup, and you guys brought it, man. It's too bad this is an audio interview. You can see what Jacoby's doing.
Oh God, all kinds of debauchery going on.
But even like going back to those early days, I mean, even going back to like the Infest days, do you see yourselves guys coming like full circle? That kind of delivery that you guys had back then.
I would say there's always there's definitely a newfound just like energy and passion that's brewing inside of us, just with the excitement of this music, you know what I mean? And just the way we made the record and everything, but I mean, I don't know, man. That was such a great time for music. I hope that whole thing, comes back in a weird way. It's we've been talking about this earlier today. Like, it's hard to find other bands.
Yeah, we were talking about like bands we want to go tour with, and I'm just like, what's coming out?
Like, what's?
I'm like, there's not much coming out. Like, what's new? What's good? Like, so we just got to go create what we believe is awesome, and then see what happens. But for us, we're just going to keep try to forge an original path, and just be our own beast, and just see what happens. And so far, so good,
Now, I guess just one more question for you guys. Really, I guess the process of making albums for you guys, has it changed over time? Like, say, you were talking about when you worked with Kevin and when you worked with these new guys here. Is it like you guys, before you guys get together in the room, this is what we're going to do, and it's live off the floor, or is it like you're doing it from different locations? How does Papa Roach make an album?
Well, we do it. There's no rules. We make it really happens so many different ways. Like, literally, sometimes we'll jam in a room and have a bunch of musical ideas, and we'll go off of that, or somebody will just bring a demo in. Like, I can make a demo, just a basic arrangement, and bring it in, show it to the guys.
Yeah.
Or we'll just show up at the studio and just be like, hey, what do we feel like doing today? And then start from scratch, and then we'll try to make a song as fast as possible without overthinking every little thing, and just like, because we did that a lot on this record, towards the second half of the writing process.
And none of the above started with just.
And we realized that because we've done it so long, we were like, well, I don't know about this. And then our producer was like, dude, it's cool. Just trust the vision. Yeah. Like, wait till just keep going, Yeah. And then let him do his thing on it, and Jacoby does his thing on it, and then we'll listen back and we'll go, oh shit, that is pretty fucking
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So
it was a wild experience this time around, And it's sometimes too we'll come in with a demo, and we're like, we'll play the producers as demo, and we're like, man, it just feels like kind of stock, just being like, all right, we've done this before. Yeah. And the producer's like, but like, let's just flip the verse. Like, the chord progression is cool. Like, they see it differently than I see it. I'm listening to it just going, okay, cool, this is what I got to work with. Yeah. Where our producers are going, like, what's the chord progression? All right, we hear that. That's a great chord progression. Now let's unstockify it, Right. And so we did that with this new track called Maniac. This last time around. It's not on. It's a brand new one for the next record.
Oh, cool.
But it's we're already off to the races on the next.
That was the thing.
Already. That's awesome.
Working with these guys, it's like we were on such a creative high, and the momentum was just, it was nonstop. So we just kept going. And we
got a few bangers out of this last session that are going to be dope.
We have more songs that are coming even after this record.
Thanks for coming out.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Yeah, anytime.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Big thanks going out to our friends at Sony Music as well, our friends at 11/7 Music for hooking us up with Jacoby and Tobin for that talk. Also, don't forget, check out loadedradio.com for all your hard rock and metal needs as well. The 24-hour stream there for you too. And we'll talk to you again next week on the next edition of the Loaded Radio In Your Face podcast.
Loaded Radio.